Good morning and welcome to the most recent edition of the Bearded Tyke. I'm joined again by Ant. Thanks for jumping on, pal.
Absolutely no problem, mate. Good morning.
Yeah, morning, mate, morning. So, we played Huddersfield Town away yesterday, Ant, and it's another, and yet again, here we are, frustrated, disappointed. We're going to be calling out the same things as we've been calling out all season, mate. It was just, again, a tale of two halves, a tale of what we've been seeing all season, which is just being let down by just really poor defending. I don't know if it's lapses in concentration or whatever it is, but mate, it was just so frustrating because I was really pleased with the lineup. Pleased to see that there was no change in the lineup, and I thought we got off to a really good start, pal.
We really did. I was happy to see it unchanged after Tuesday because I've said a few times that I thought we turned a little bit of a corner with the structure. And to be fair, in that first half, that proved to be the case again. I thought we were very, very, very good against a decent Huddersfield team. I said that their style might suit us, which I think it did, and we got to counter them a lot. But as we'll probably talk about each half, but the second half we just weren't reactive to their changes at all, and defensively, it's happening week on week, and it's just not good enough, mate. It's got to stop. It's got to stop.
I mean, we'll get onto it in a bit, mate. I'm not sure how we stop it, mate, because we've not been able to stop it since Urian came into the job, and I'm not a Urian out guy, but and we'll talk about Urian's first 50 games after we spoke about the Huddersfield game. But it's just they can't seem to solve it, and the professional footballers, and we haven't had a clean sheet since Luton game. We've had 2 all season. We've conceded the most goals in League One. We've conceded the most goals in all 92. It's a massive, massive problem, and we just seem incapable of addressing it, mate. But I mean, let's start with the positives. Let's start with the positives, because I don't want it to be all negative, because actually there were some positives to come out of the game. I thought the first half, we played really, really well. We frustrated Huddersfield. We had really good shape. We limited them to a very, very feeble sort of chance where I think it was, I can't remember the name of the guy, that headed it, and it's straight down Goodman's throat. Straight into the middle, and that's all we reduced them to. They didn't really have anything. I think they had one pot shot miles off a bar. So we really did reduce them, and I thought we managed them well, and we looked good, mate. We looked good, and then an absolute worldie from Didsey again, rolling back the years. He's been outstanding as Didsey. It's such a shame that that goal didn't end up being part of a good result for us, a positive result for Barnsley, because it's an absolute worlder. And I went at the game. It went into absolute raptures an hour, and it was buzzing. The atmosphere was great. I really enjoyed the first half. Like I was saying to my brother when we were there, saying this feels like I've missed this. I really miss this, being at a game where there's a load of us there and we're all singing and singing songs, or a bit of back and forth with the fans, bit of banter. Then we score, we all go mad. We're all really enjoying it. And at half time, I went to get a couple of bottles of water, and the concourse outside, it's actually outside Huddersfield, but we're all outside around the back there, and it was buzzing. Everyone was buzzing and singing, and it felt really, really good. And then second half, mate. I mean, right. Well, I'll let you have your piece, mate.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about first half because it reminded me of Liverpool game a little bit, where we had a good shape, we had a good structure, we let them punch out. Shepherd ended up being spare man a lot at back, which suits him. Had a bit more time on the ball. We were stroking it about lovely at times and countering really well. Cleary were doing his stuff. Banks were doing really well. Kelly driving again. It felt like we had a football team back, actually. I were really, really, I put on X that as playoff charge lasted for 4 days up until 50 or 57th minute yesterday. And it felt like we turned a corner and we were doing. Diddy's goal. Let's just talk about that. What a strike! I didn't go because I had a family thing on, but I managed to watch it. And let's just say I was knee sliding around the living room because that was just unbelievable. It was though. It was just absolute bins. Keeper couldn't do anything about it, and just touching on him, I mean, what a renaissance this guy's having. He's playing like he was 5, 6, 7 years ago. Absolutely incredible performances week in, week out. And not just his attacking stuff, tracking back, heading crosses away, tracking runners. No surprise that he got subbed off when he did, because he must have been absolutely spent with energy put into that one. But yeah, it
Mm.
just seems like we turned a corner, and then obviously as we move into the second half, we just weren't proactive to their changes. Um, like you said, we restricted them to one chance in that first half, which was Marcus Harness who had that header, and it was
Yeah,
straight at Goodman. And then as soon as Hardy came on, panic stations, absolute panic stations. The goal that they scored, the first goal, I mean, O'Keefe should probably do better trying to stop the cross, but it comes in, and Shepherd's just gone like a moth to a flame to Hardy into O'Connell's zone. So they both stood literally like that next to each other with Hardy there, and in comes Ledson round the back, and it's an
yeah,
easy goal. And concentration levels, I don't know who would be at fault for that, if that's the individual or Connor not relaying a message across to the players like who to mark, or if that's Keogh's responsibility, I don't know. But whoever it is, of those three people, Horahan, Keogh, and Shepherd, they need to get their head together and work out what that was, because somebody was at fault there. It's the
yeah.
individual, obviously. Shepherd should take things to his own mind, but he is learning. So is he being told the wrong thing or what? They need to get their heads together. And the second goal, I mean, Jen played again yesterday, and he had a bad start. He got turned. He got booked. I thought he grew into it, but what Gent gives you is he holds position. He's very good at holding that position. And for the build up for that second goal, there's just nobody at left back. There's nobody there.
Okay.
There's nobody there. They've slipped it in. Hardy's got his shot away, and Goodman's been beaten on his near post. Now, I'm going to blame Goodman as well, because that is a shocking attempt to save a near post shot. And we've just spoke before we came on, Ryan, how many goals have we conceded on near post in the last 12 months? It must be double figures. It has to be.
Must be.
So I'm going to say, again, is that down to an individual, or is that our goalkeeping coach, Scott Flinders, who was not teaching him the right things? We need to, I think there's major problems at this club, coaching wise and individual wise. But that doesn't excuse the fact that the left back, who I believe would that have been Tenai Watson at that point, had just wandered off. Because he's not a left back. You know, he should be at right back. Poor, poor reactions. Nothing much after that either. It was like we'd given up a little bit. We still often puffed, but there were no guile. I still thought the changes that he made were later on were what I would have made, but obviously that it made no difference. Bland coming on, Bradshaw coming on, that's all fine and everything, but we just couldn't get up the pitch after that. I didn't agree on taking Banks off either, if I'm honest. As quiet as Banks was, he still gets you up pitch. So big problems.
Yeah, big problems, mate. Like you say, Huddersfield had to make a change. They were terrible in that first half. They got booed off by the fans. We'd limited them to very, very little. You know, I mean, that had been the fifth half in a row that they'd gone without scoring a goal.
Yeah.
So you can imagine the fans were frustrated, and Liam Manning obviously had to make a few changes, which he did. And we were just very slow to react to it, and we just seemed to sit really deep. And I just think that right. I don't know if that was a tactic, or whether it was just that Huddersfield improved their game and we naturally had to sit deep because they had a lot of possession. I'm not sure, but if it was a tactic, it's a terrible one because we can't defend for shit. And you know, our best form of defence is our attack. It's just it's as simple as that. And yeah, like you said, right. So their first goal, my thoughts on their first goal is that like O'Keefe doesn't close. Is it Moamba? Is it or Moamba? The winger, the guy that crosses it in.
Bailey Mumba, yeah, Bailey Mumba.
Yeah, Bailey Moamba. That's it. For the guy that signed from Plymouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's put the cross in. Like you said, there's O'Connell and is it Hardy that we're in behind him, the striker? He's in behind him.
Hardy's made a run to go into left, and Shepherd's followed him, leaving a gap.
Yeah. So like you say, O'Connell had him, And Shep's just made that thing, but Shep's not covering anybody, and nobody has spotted like Brian Ledson running straight in. Brian Ledson's running straight in. The only person that's trying to track him is Didzy, who was our
Yeah.
centre forward. Where's the rest of the team? And then there's two people at fault. I know you're a massive Georgie Gent fan, but Georgie could have maybe he turned his back on it. He turned his back on it, and then Owen Goodman has got to come and get that ball. He's floating in. He's not whipped in massively with loads of speed. That is Owen Goodman's ball all day long. And if he doesn't get to it, at least then he's right in front of the attacker there. They can't do anything with it. He should, at very least, he should have caught it. But for me, at very minimum, he should have been able to punch that. He's a big lad. He's a big unit. He's 6'3". He's built like a brick shithouse. He should be coming out and flattening him. Yeah, get that ball first. He's coming into him, boom, and flattening him. And he just doesn't make it. He gets caught in no man's land. He doesn't stay on his line. He sort of goes,
Yeah.
And makes a big star face. It looks terrible. It's a terrible look. and we concede from it. And then from then on, I think there were only one winner, mate. We just never looked like we were going to get back into it at all. The second goal, man. There's so much wrong with it. Like you said about Gent's gone off at that point. Obviously, at 60 minutes, he looked knackered. So then Tanai Watson's come on. Tanai Watson on that second goal. It's a good move actually by Huddersfield. We make it easy for them. It's a quick 1-2. So Cleary's right out far on the left. There's two players with Cleary right on the far left, and then there's a massive gap. Tanai Watson stood at sort of left centre back position, and it comes out. Patrick Kelly went out to try and close it down. So then he's come forward. Cleary's here. And they just left that massive gap there, just a massive gap, and they've just rolled it into it. He's passed it in. Ryan Ledson's got a good boat on it, but Owen Goodman has to save that, mate.
Yeah, 100%. He has to save it.
I mean, if he gets beat outright for pace, as in it's proper rocketed in, even then I'd be a bit disappointed. But then I'd be saying he probably should save it. But it's a bit more understandable if he's been beat for pace. If it's a really, if it's really quick and he's not had time to react and get down there, even then, but then it can be a little bit more forgivable. But to get a strong hand to it as well, to get a strong hand to it and turn it up into the roof of your own net it's just not good enough, man. Sorry, it's just not good enough.
The hot topic is, was he injured when that shot came in? That's the big hot topic, because I weren't sure if he were. When he went down and he didn't move for God knows how long, obviously I'm very concerned about that, because if nobody moves at all, you think, what, is that a neck injury? What is it? What's going off? But when I watched the replay, I couldn't really see what would have made him injured, if that makes sense. And we've seen keepers drop down a lot tactically, and we were getting overrun at that point.
Yeah.
And it felt like a tactical drop down that went far too far, in my opinion. I mean, if he's banged his head or whatever, surely the ref would have said, right, he's got to go off. He's got to go off.
Yeah,
or any kind of common sense from the manager would have said, he's got to go off. So I'm wondering if it were a tactical sit down kind of, take this thing out of the game injury that went absolutely too far. I mean, paramedics came on and everything. And then suddenly he just stood up like Tyson Fury and carried on. It was just a very strange. He did though, didn't he? He was dead, and then suddenly he's drowning up, taking a goal kick or a free kick. It's like, what's going off here? I'm not sure what happened there. But if he were injured, no, he shouldn't have been on field. But if he weren't, that's a shit attempt to save a shot. Let's be honest. I mean, near post, it's unforgivable, mate. It's unforgivable.
Yeah, it's two faults, mate. It's at his near post. He's been beat at his near post again, and he's got a strong hand to it and just turned it up into roof at night. You should, if you're getting a full hand on it there, it's just save it, just turn it round post. It's really bad. Like my son, I've said, my son's a goalkeeper, and we were at the game yesterday, and he was absolutely appalled. He was just like, I can't believe he's done that. No. He said he should be saving that. It's on his near post. He's got a good hand to it. There's no way he should be scooping it up into net. He says that's really, really poor. It's either a weak hand or poor technique.
It's one or the other, isn't it? It's a very poor attempt. Yeah. I was just looking.
But he snapped at it being a weak hand, mate, because for him to turn it up into the net, you've got to imagine his hand were like that, a bit like a golf club.
Yeah.
So it's turned it. I think the power of the shot's bent his hand back that way, and that's what scoops it up. Because if his hand stays flat and it's strong and it stays flat, that ball, he saves it.
It's fine margins, isn't it? But yeah, I was just looking. I made a few notes just on our defence because obviously we are absolutely horrendous. And if you look at probably the entire squad, other than O'Connell and Watson, they were all signed to play in a back three wing back situation.
Yeah,
Gent was, O'Keefe was, Shepherd played in a three at Bradford in the centre where he was spare man and having lots of time. Only thing Shepherd did at Bradford was head the ball away and pass it to the side. And he did that pretty well. But he's asking him to do lots of different things here. In a four, Dijavini was signed as a three-back player. Josh Earl was signed as a three-back player. Only two of these players can play solid, have been successful in a four. That's Watson and O'Connell. And he never plays Watson at right back. So
yeah,
what surely Connor would put Watson there. I know O'Keefe's been very good. He has been very good and his effort's been great. But there comes a time we've got to do what's right for the team. And I think that having a solid right back that will tackle and defend only, especially when you've got a winger like Banks and you've got people running forward like Phillips and Kelly, you need a steady Eddie there. And I think O'Keefe's
yeah.
attempt to stop that cross yesterday were poor. He actually got injured in it back in the game yesterday, so he might be out for a couple of weeks anyway.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. He was limping about at the back end, weren't he?
Yeah, well, can you?
But yeah, I just think that Connor's forcing this formation, and he said that he doesn't like watching us in a three back. But unfortunately, most of his players were signed as three back players. So we're kind of stuck in a rock and a hard place here, aren't we? Which is probably why we're not going to make any kind of push at all, which is probably why we're going to be inconsistent and probably win 4 or 5 more games, and that's it. Yeah, so it's it's going to take a lot of restructuring, a lot of rebuilding it summer, mate.
Oh, it's a massive job, mate, and the defence has to be the priority, and well, maybe it will be up front as well, because it depends if we re-sign Didsey or not, which we absolutely should do. I think if Connor's still in the job, I think we will,
Yeah.
but the defence just needs a complete revamp, mate. Because the ones that we've got there, aside from Owen O'Connell, he's only signed a 6-month contract. He probably ain't going to stay at Barnsley, if I'm being honest.
No.
But you never know. But the rest of it, mate, is just like you say. I don't know. It's a little bit unfair on Watson asking to play left back. He clearly can't play left back. He's either a right back or he don't play. He either plays at right back or he don't play.
I would agree with
Because
that.
he can't play at left back. He can't play at left back. And if you're going to put Jenny on for 60 minutes, yeah, then bring Ogbetter on, who can at least actually play a left back.
Well, where is Ogbetter? He wasn't even on bench yesterday.
I've no idea.
And
No, he
I
wasn't
don't,
even
were he on bench the
on.
other day either? I don't think he was. So where's he gone?
No idea, man. No idea. And I think as well, just touching on the substitutions a bit later on. I know I've no problem with Bradshaw coming on, because he offers he just closed down really well. He offers a bit up top, but once he took Scott Banks off, we just had nothing down that side. And I don't mind Blandy coming on, but Blandy coming on for Scott Banks, and this just goes down to squad depth again, and it just goes down to squad depth. We didn't have someone else, an attacking right-sided player, to come on and go in that position and try and help us get a bit further upfield when we needed to get back in game. And once it was 2-1, we just never looked like getting back into it at all. And I will say this as well, just so I don't want to sound like I'm going at the defence all the time. In the second half, we did have to get into some good positions. Patrick Kelly got himself into good positions, but again, just not. The amount of times, though, one where he broke free and he had, I can't remember if Didsey was still on field or whether it was Tom Bradshaw and at one side, at the left-hand side of him, and then he had Adam Phillips running down the right, and he just didn't pick the ball and got tackled. And it was a foul in the end, but he had like loads of opportunities to pass the ball, and he's got to get that out of his game. Because he does it far, far too much, where we get in a really good position. All he's got to do is let that ball go early when it's on. And he doesn't do it, and he seems to hold on to it for too long and just loses it, and we don't even get then it's attack over. And there were the one as well where we had a really good right at the end of the game. I think it might have even been in injury time, where we looked it went out to Cleary on the left, and he put a poor ball in and just
Probably
rushed
knackered.
it. So yeah. I think the whole second half was just not good enough again. It's probably my fault. I probably jinxed it, mate, because I said at half time, we've actually gone 90 minutes without conceding a goal.
Oh
Shame it were
no.
in 2 hours of 2 different games, but still
Mm.
take your take your take your wins when you get them. But
Just on,
yeah,
just
so
on,
go on.
just on Kelly, mate. I put a jokingly, if he could shoot, he'd be playing for Real Madrid on Twitter, and
That's all right.
um, obviously that's an exaggeration. But if he had an end product, he wouldn't be playing for us because his driving and
Yeah,
his ability to get out of tight spaces is absolutely fantastic. And I love watching him. I think he's a great player.
yeah,
And once that does click, he'll be gone in 6 months. We know that
mm,
because that's all that's missing.
true.
On the right side option, obviously he chose to put O'Keefe on the right wing, and then he got injured, so he was just hobbling around
Right.
for stoppage time, and then he brought Jürgen Nathan on to play right back, which is obviously we were running short on numbers again. So yeah, the Huddersfield changes. I mean, just when you bring on two players like is it Kasuma and Aisha, the two physical
Mm,
lads that came on, they were outstanding when they came on, but they are like
yeah,
I bet they could both. They look like rugby players coming on that can run 100 meters in 10.3 seconds. They look absolutely massive physical units, and we ain't got one of them in club. And when they're bringing two on, obviously they were just breaking through midfield at some points and making us look daft. But it's the squad depth again, isn't it? And
yeah,
I mean, we've signed players in January that aren't ready. Chiriwu, was he gone? Lennon wasn't on the bench again this week. I mean, Lennon probably could have come on for that. Let's face it, if we're 2-1 down and he's taking Banks off, Lennon could have come on for 10 minutes. It wouldn't have hurt, would it? Just to try and
no,
get back into it again. Squad depth, shocking, mate. And obviously, we know the pictures did start recircling again after the result yesterday of Nirav. And it's going to be like this all season. We're going to get a result and people are going to be buzzing. And we're going to get a shit result and people are going to be protesting. Uh,
yeah. So,
up
I
and,
saw
up
it
and
at the
down.
game.
It's just a roller coaster, mate. And you just got to strap yourself in till summer, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. I saw it at the game, mate. That the bipolar thing. And listen, I don't disagree with the sentiment from the fans about wanting the owners out. I don't disagree with that, but it was just it was just a stark contrast that in the first half everyone were buzzing, we're singing about going up at half time. Like I just said to you, on the concourse, everyone's singing about Didsy and about us going up, and the Reds are going up and all sorts. And then we're 2-1 down, we're singing about getting bored out and Barnsley FC being in the wrong hands. It just swung in the same game from being
Yeah.
absolutely buzzing and thinking we're going up to let's get the owners out because we were losing. And I'm not saying I disagree with them. I just think that's what you get, don't you? It's what you get. We discussed it before. We're so fickle as fans; it's unbelievable.
It's just sheer
But
frustration, mate. That's what it is.
it is.
And
Oh
when
yeah,
else are you going to,
like I said,
you take it out on board, and then some people take it out on Oran, and then it filters down to Goodman, then it filters to Shepherd. You know, then it'll filter to Connell. There's like a tier list of people who people gutter when we lose.
yeah,
Neerav, Connor, Shepherd, Goodman, Connell. That's the list basically. Um,
yeah,
it's just reactionary stuff. Uh, it, he's so frustrating though to watch us, mate. I really did. You win that one, you're 5 points off playoffs with 4 games in hand, and it were right there. And
yeah.
poor management really has screwed that up again. Shame.
Well, the difference is they brought Ryan Hardy off the bench, mate, and we've got someone of that caliber to come off the bench is just
Yeah,
it's what changes games, isn't it?
good player,
What
isn't he?
changes games, isn't it? Yeah, very, very good, mate. Very good. So, so we move on, mate. Before we move on to, because quickly looking at the Leyton Orient game, we've got a week off now, and I think we probably need it as well. We just had the week off before, but we could really do with this week off. Sorry, we did. We played on the Tuesday, didn't we? Sorry, we did. We played Peter on Tuesday night. We've got
Yeah.
a week off now. Moving into the Leyton Orient game. So before we move on to that, mate, yesterday was Conor Hourihan's 50th game for the club, 50th game in all competitions in charge of the club. So I just wanted to ask you what you thought of his tenure so far. But I think and I'd not noticed this, and I didn't realise this. And actually, when I saw the stat, or when we saw the stat, our Oscar actually went through every single one of his games and added up the goals to make sure that it was correct, and it is correct. It is obviously correct that in those 50 competitive games we've conceded 100 goals, which is, that's shocking, mate. That's shocking. But I don't want to just batter him with that stick because we have actually played some good football at times.
Yeah, I mean, I'll put a case pro and and against Connor because I think that's only fair. Um, when he took over last season, we were in a state. I mean, a massive state. We were in the lowest league position we've been in for a long time. We went to Birmingham and got beat 6. He had no goalkeeper, so we had Kieran Flavel in goal. It would basically not played any games hardly. A
Yeah,
lot of players are down tools. We got a beating at Orient as well, but it's 4-2 or something. We were winning
4-3.
4-3. And I don't really like to count that little spell because obviously he tried to change things straight away, and obviously there were going to be problems, and half the squad didn't give a shit. Um, and I've been off my chair. Like I said, I've said this every week. I've been off my chair so many more times under Connor than what I were probably under Clark and Collins since he's been in charge. But then the bad side is that tactically he's very poor. It feels like you're watching a kids game sometimes. You know, it's backwards, forwards, basketball game, um, style of stuff. He's not. I think he's trying to change too much too soon, um, without the players at his disposal to do that. I'm willing to stick with him. I think we're probably safe now, and if he can get the players into fit a fallback and what have you, and we can keep some players here in the summer, I think we'll probably be better next year. But he needs some better advice from above him, that's for certain. But I mean, I love Connor. He's a club legend. It has bought him time, I believe, um, being that club legend. But he needs to start kicking on a bit now. For me, a lot of managers come into management after 50 games and they're not conceding 100 goals. So I think
Yeah,
he's got some work to do. But I'm still Team Connor just, but he is frustrating me.
yeah, me too, mate. Like I said, I love him. I think, I, 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 I think we should stick with him. I think I'm a bit undecided, to be fair. No, I think we should stick with him. I think we should stick with him. I think that if he has better players, I think if we had a better defence, then we'd be much further up the league. I think that he has made some tactical errors, but he's also done some really good stuff as well. Like you say, we've played some really nice, exciting football that I've not seen for a good while at Barnsley. That style of play, and but going forward under Connor has never been a problem. We've looked great going forward.
Mm.
Scored a lot of goals. Look good most of the time. We look really good. Going forward, but defensively we're just absolutely appalling. We're appalling. But we're worst in all 4 divisions, mate. In the 4 professional leagues this season. And that's not including the 6 that we got go by Brighton and the 5 against Port Vale in the Cup and the 4 against Liverpool. It's just honestly it's a leaky fucking bucket, mate. Honestly, it really is. It's horrendous. We just cannot not concede.
No.
So we're going into games now where you're just thinking, how many do we concede today? But I saw people online saying only conceding 1 on Tuesday felt like a clean sheet. It's just ridiculous.
It did.
It's just ridiculous. But
It really did. I thought
we,
we'd made progress there. I thought, we kept him out well. I think it's because the second half kept a clean sheet and looked solid. So obviously that's the last thing you remember of the game, So then you move into the next game, it feels like a clean sheet because you've kept it down. There's been signs of improvement. And then obviously you get another half like that, Huddersfield, and you think, oh, hang on a minute, here we go, we've turned corner. And then they fall asleep again.
yeah,
Just another thing on Connor. The players that will play in first team, I think he's basically brought in himself. Like the recruitment style are the players he's wanted. Banks, Cleary, Kelly, O'Connell, Watson are all brilliant. Didsey. I love watching these players. He's brought them here. So that's a plus point for Connor. He's recognised positions and style of players that he wants for his system. He just hasn't got that at the back yet. And he's not going to have
yeah,
options back, which is still making me cling on to him, thinking he can do this. Because if he gets,
yeah,
let's say we do sign O'Connell on a 2-year or whatever, and we'll sign Watson for another year, and then he gets a proper left back, or if Gent comes back better and he signs another proper centre back, then I think we can achieve playoffs. I mean, you've seen how bad this league is. Like I said, if we'd have won yesterday, we'd have been 5 points behind playoffs with 4 games in hand, and we've been bloody awful. at times. Defensively, we have been awful, and it was still there.
Yeah,
It's still there now if we win his games in hand. But
yeah,
he has brought some good players to this club, and I think that's got to be commended as well.
yeah. The fact that I totally agree about the league, mate. The fact that Huddersfield are still sixth, and by their own fans, I'll admit this, they've been shocking for most of this season.
Yeah.
They've managed to churn out results because they've got really good players, but as overall as a team to watch, I'm sure most Huddersfield fans will tell you they've not been brilliant, but they still find themselves in sixth. It's just an unbelievable league. The fact that we could have had, if we'd have beat Huddersfield yesterday, had a sniff at having a push yesterday after how poor we've been at times. Just shows you how much of a poor league it is.
Well, there's
So,
two
like I
good
say,
teams in. Sorry, I was
yeah,
going to say there's two good teams in this league, Cardiff and Lincoln. And Cardiff got battered yesterday. I mean, look at Bolton in third. Do you see their goal they conceded yesterday with keepers fanning about it? What?
mm,
The standard in League One is awful. It's awful, and all it takes
hmm
is consistency. And the only two consistent teams are the ones in the automatics. That's it.
hmm very true, mate. Very true. We need to take a leaf out, especially Lincoln's book. I just think
Lincoln.
they just do everything really simple,
Yeah.
keep it simple, and do it really, really well. And that's why they are where they are. And I'm really pleased for them.
Yeah.
So just quickly then, mate. I mean, I think for me, we stick with Connor. We give him the summer window. We give him the opportunity to start the season, get the players in that we need to get in the summer. Whether that happens or not, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Whether we reinvest any of the DKD money, but I think there's going to be a massive overhaul in the summer, and we give him that window, and then we see where we go from there. But if he gets off to a bad start, I think he might lose his job, mate.
Yeah, I
But
would
it's
agree.
pointless. It's absolutely pointless sacking him now. It's pointless, completely and utterly pointless. You may as well give him this next window and give him a chance to rectify the defence. It is mainly down to personnel as well as other things that are going wrong, but it is basically personnel making ridiculous mistakes. Because just lastly, yesterday, for a lot of the time, we defended well,
Yeah.
but we just have them momentary lapses and that end up costing us. So
Yeah.
I think we give him another opportunity, give him a summer window, and then we get the start of the season and see where we go from there, mate.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So just quickly, mate, we've got Leyton Orient coming up. Obviously, we've not got a midweek game, thankfully, this week. I think it's his last break for quite a while. So I think the lads should take it and work on what they need to work on, but also get a good opportunity to get some rest into those legs. But we play Leyton Orient away on Saturday. Leyton Orient themselves find themselves they are similarly to us this season, but probably worse than us actually. From that respect, is they are massively underachieving this season.
Yeah.
After the fantastic season they had last season, and getting to the playoff final, they've not lived up to expectations at all this season and found themselves 19th in the league. And actually, until yesterday, beating Northampton away, they were actually in the relegation zone. So we go to Leyton Orient next Saturday. Their home form, they've played 16, won 6. They've drawn 5 and lost 5. And conceded 20 goals doing that. So they don't concede a massive amount of goals at home, but the home record is not fantastic. So if ever there were a chance to try and break this duck that we've had of not when we haven't won since November, obviously since start of November away,
No.
to break this run, I think that away at Leyton Orient would be that opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a great ground for us either, is it? I remember the last 2 occasions we've been there, we lost 4-3. When Connor one of Connor's first games, and then I think year before did we draw 1-1 where Cosgrove got sent off. Pretty sure he got sent off after coming on as sub.
He
Um,
did, mate. Yeah.
Not a great ground for us. It's a 12:30 kickoff as well, so bad for fans who are travelling down there. It's an opportunity to win a game of football, mate. And I say we need a rest, and we've got a rest this week. Orient do have Don Ballard, he's up there, one of the top 3 strikers in the league, who was apparently going to sign for us and then decided not to at the 11th hour. So no doubt he'll score. And also, money, mate. Again, it's wages in it that we don't want to pay. Same way, Josh Corona play for them as well. I think he does, doesn't he?
He does.
So same situation. But it's a game we can win. Like you said, they're not pulling up any trees this year. They definitely have had a dip since last year, and you'd like to think that we can get at them, but also we'll probably concede. So prediction should be interesting. just take each game as it comes now, mate. I'm not. My hopes have been built up and now dashed for probably the last time this season, and I'm
Yeah.
just not. It's not that I'm not bothered, but I'm more like we look like we're safe, and let's just take some down with us as we win, try and win some matches. Yeah, but I just take each game as it comes.
I think that's the best thing. It's the best approach now. It's just to go to the games. If you want to go to the games, go to the games. If you don't want to go, don't go. Whatever. Just go and try and each game, enjoy each game on its own merit, and let's try and go get some results and maybe take
Yeah,
some positivity into next season.
yeah,
Because this season's finished. Unfortunately, like I said, we're not going up. We're not going down.
no.
That's it is. And to be honest with you, we're not in a position to go up anyway. The amount of money that'd have to be spent on that squad to get us anywhere near championship level would be. We ain't got that kind of money anyway, so might be a blessing in disguise, to be fair. So yeah. So just a quick one, mate. Score predictions. I know we're a week out, but score predictions for next Saturday.
I don't know. Let's just probably a draw. I'll say it's one apiece. We'll go in front and they'll peg us back.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a Desmond.
Desmond Tutu.
Desmond Tutu. Yeah.
Well, it sounds about right for us, doesn't it? I think draw looks
Double
like
goals.
draw looks like standard prediction. I think there.
Probably, mate. Yeah, I would suggest so. Like I said, I think it might be a good opportunity for us to get a go. You know, if any game we could win, we maybe could win this one.
Yeah,
We're laying on its form, but it's got a draw written all over it, hasn't it?
yeah, definitely.
Let's be honest. So, right. Everybody else, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining us. You stayed with us this long. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you could actually subscribe. Listen, I'm getting loads of views, loads of comments, and I really appreciate everyone's support. But I've only got about 300 subscribers at the moment. I know a lot more people watch the video. So if you could, guys, subscribe, it really does help. It really does help the channel, and it pushes us to more viewers, so it can grow the channel. So if you could subscribe, that I'd really appreciate that. If you'd like to comment down below what you thought about the Huddersfield game, what you think of Connor's first 50 games in charge, and how you think the Leyton Orient game might go next Saturday. And really appreciate you jumping on again, pal.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, mate. Thank you.
I'm hopefully going to be doing another show during the week, not football match based, depending on how things go. Hopefully something exciting coming up, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll not say what it is because I don't. it might not happen, but let's see what happens. But until that point, I'll see you after.